Welcome to the Level Asian podcast, where we share unique and unconventional success stories of Asian POC Australians. We'll feature experiences with entrepreneurs, creatives, influencers, and anybody breaking the bamboo ceiling. So the whole idea of the podcast started with Ken and Davie when they were brainstorming an idea. Davie, do you want to take us through how you got here?
Yeah, so I think it was roughly 6 years ago. I was just sitting down trying to start this business, which is an accounting business. And I just didn't feel like there were much Asians or people helping. And I struggled a lot because I just couldn't connect with a lot of business owners, especially in the accounting space. Everyone was so different. And so I just thought, you know what? It would be great to connect with people that are similar to me. Same generation, speak the same language, going through the same personal issues. So I was just speaking to friends and family members and business owners about starting an Asian Australian business group. And I always really wanted to do it, but just didn't have the balls to do it.
Yeah, and I think you and I definitely, we had many of these conversations, I guess, in the last few years. And since establishing Social Wave, which was for the last 2 years now, I'm a content marketing agency, I think, business is in a good spot for us. I think, I talk to a lot of people out there who want to launch something like a podcast about these topics, and many of them do this as a side hustle. And so I think we sort of are really investing in this, and we're doing this with a real sort of intent. And I think the podcast, which we've been talking about a lot, Davie, and now with, Viv and Noel together, is just how do we sort of, instead of trying to break through the bamboo ceiling, is how do we build our own house? And a lot of that is based on the fact that rather than, pushing people down, talking about what the problems are or the victim story, this is a very going to be a really optimistic and positive thing, and then mainly to sort of connect with people as well, right?
Yeah, and we see it in a lot of countries, and like in America, for example, where Asians are banding together, building their own house. And I just want to see something like this in Australia. Yeah, so it's really important.
Yeah. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so like I said, I'm the co-founder of Social Wave. We're a content marketing agency. Noel's my co-founder, creative director here as well. So we basically help businesses, pretty much do content marketing. And so we do podcasts for many of our clients. That's why this, we've been able to make this happen with Level Asian as well. And so Davie, a longtime friend, we grew up in in high school together, and now we're both business owners as well. So this is a very fun and enjoyable, but very also purposeful thing that I feel like we're doing. And so far, all of the conversations that I've at least had with people about this podcast has been very well received and very positive. So I believe there's an appetite in the community for something like this. And even, talking to Noel, and I'm sure he's going to weigh in now about sort of how actually important it is, and sort of from his personal experiences as well.
Yeah, so my name's Noel. I am the co-founder of Social Wave and the producer of Level Asian podcast. I guess the whole idea behind this podcast is celebrating high achievers. No, not really. Basically just telling the stories and recognizing achievements within the Asian community. I think communities is the key word here. I think, as Asian Australians in a Western space, we need to celebrate the achievements of those who have made, carved their own path and haven't kind of taken that traditional route, and who've done something different and dared to do something different and have succeeded, or are, on their way to success. So I think being able to highlight these individuals and hear their stories is going to, hopefully build that community, build that support network that I think we all need, but then also inspire the next generation as well, which is something Davie's touched on. So yeah, those are our key focuses.
I'm Vivian. I'm one of the co-hosts for Level Asian. And I guess I agree with everyone with what you guys have already said as well. I'm really excited to create a safe space and, like a little hub for everyone, for present generations, future generations, especially like I've got siblings. I know something like this would be very valuable for the younger generations, especially now that they can grow up in such like a diverse space and celebrating being Asian and being okay with that. Because I never grew up with that. So it's almost, paying tribute to my childhood as well.
Yeah, and I think, I think back to sort of growing up, trying to find my identity and navigate the world. I wish this is a podcast for me 15 years ago.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And I think, at a grassroots level, people who are, say, going through school, high school, but even people who are professionals right now, or you're doing your own thing, this is a podcast to really help you understand that you do have permission to go after what it is that you want to do. And we can do that through spotlighting a lot of people who have already done it or are in the process of doing it. So it's a very broad and wide-ranging set of like guests and topics. But, you know, we talk about it between the four of us all the time. It's like, you know, it has to be relatable and, you know, achievable. And we can do that through whether it's our ethnicity, the color of our skin, but also through sort of very similar upbringings and a whole range of other experiences.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be just about business owners. It's the creative space, or maybe
politicians,
politicians,
athletes.
Yeah, or maybe someone that's just doing something completely different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we've had great guests on as well, and we've got great stories happening. So we're really excited for you guys to tune in. First episode is live on the 30th of May. You can tune in every Monday for the latest episodes. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Music, Google, Amazon, and YouTube. If you know a great guest that has a great story to share, email us at contact@levelasianpodcast.com.